So I've officially decided that Witchtok is for entertainment purposes only. Hey witches, I'm Eadig and welcome back to my channel. This is a video that I didn't know that I was gonna even make. I was like, should I make this? Should I not? Because apparently 2020 couldn't get any freaking weirder. Witches on TikTok have decided to hex the moon, and I couldn't figure out whether or not this was more of a hoax or if people were actually taking this seriously, but so many people have been writing about it and talking about it that I felt like I really needed to talk about it because it is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. So the question is whether or not these are like practicing witches or if they're baby witches who really don't know what's going on, what's up, how to work with the moon or the planets or anything like that. The fact that planetary magic can be very dangerous, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. If you guys are interested in learning more about the planets or more about the moon and working with it, check out my Moon Magic for Beginners video, and that'll give you guys some insight on different moon phases and what the moon really symbolizes in witchcraft. But the fact that people want to hex the moon is super questionable. It makes me think that they really have no idea what the moon is there for. The moon is there to help and to heal, and there's so much going on right now with the eclipses and things like that, so I could kind of understand why someone might be upset with some of the things that are happening in their life because of the moon phases, because of the eclipses, and because of all of the crazy emotional tension and the need to look within and need to kind of just start your life all over again with this entire spiritual revolution. So I get that it could be really, really stressful, really scary, not really knowing where these energies are coming from, and just wanting to get rid of it all and just wanting to say, fuck everything, I'm done. But to hex the moon, what are you doing? No, that's just don't. First of all, one witch obviously cannot hex the moon. Probably can't hex much of anything, especially if they don't really know what they're doing. Second of all, a coven of witches hexing the moon. I mean, have you seen any disaster movies? Like, are you trying to upset the gods and the goddesses and everyone that's associated with the planets? Like, come on, you're supposed to respect these beings. They are higher beings that know a little bit more about things than you do and kind of are there to teach you things and help you in certain ways, and you're supposed to work with them, give them offerings, and ask them politely to help you. You're working with deities, gods and goddesses that are just there to help you and to watch over you and to watch over our planet, and work with those energies, not hex those energies. What is this hexing? What is it supposed to do? Like, just tell me. I'm so confused by this entire thing. I'm hoping that this is just a joke, but also it's one of those things where it's like people are going to take this seriously and they're going to say, oh, if one witch can hex the moon, then everyone can. Now you want to hex the sun? Are you trying to make our planet explode? Not that you could, obviously, because you're probably not that powerful. Please don't judge me or hex me by saying that. This is my opinion, obviously. I am a solitary witch and I am explaining my opinion on the matter, but it is pretty next to impossible for one witch to have that sort of influence on anything. And even if you did, to hex a spiritual being or to hex a planetary being, that's insane. There's just no way that you could get away with it. Whatever energies, whatever magic that you're attempting to hex, this is a powerful, powerful entity. This is something that's not to be fucked with. And especially, it's not to be messed with when you don't really know the properties. You don't really know what it's there for. You don't really know the specifics. Planetary magic can be extremely dangerous, and it's used in ceremonial magic. So one of the only ways that I could see someone sealing off the energy of the moon, not hexing it, not trying to you know, exacerbate situations by hexing it, but sealing off the energy so it doesn't affect you is using its planetary Kamiya, which is its magic square, and using the seal on top of that in order to block off that energy. It's what I do sometimes in order to block off the energy of Mercury retrograde. It's also something that's talked about in the 3 books of occult philosophy by Henry Cornelius Agrippa, this book, and these are the planetary Kamiyas. So you work with the planetary Kamiya of the moon and put its seal on top of it in the proper formation in order for you to block off that energy. You can also use its intelligence along with its spirit in order to harness other influences. But you have to understand the implications. You have to understand exactly what you're doing in those senses. So you could work with the planetary Kamiya of the moon in order to use its seal on top of it to block off that energy. But you also have to understand what you're doing in the sense of ceremonial magic and planetary magic. There is no way that someone that is not well versed in planetary magic in this way could work with that kind of spell work or could harness that kind of energy or block off that kind of energy. I study planetary magic and I still kind of keep myself from doing certain things because it is something that could be dangerous. Hexing anything is a serious risk. The fact that you put out your energy into the world, that negative energy that takes so much more out of you than putting out positive energy, is a lot. That's not only going to take all of that energy from you, but it's going to bring it back to you in a negative way. That's why one of the reasons why I always tell my subscribers, like, cursing and hexing is not worth your time or energy. Work with things that will keep you from being bothered by that kind of energy. Work with energies that will help you to get over it, help you to let go of feeling in that negative way, rather than pushing out all of that negativity and just keeping it out into the world so that it can just muster up and just hit you back whenever you're not expecting it. So hexing anything is a terrible idea in my opinion, and also hexing any planetary energy is just the worst thing that you could ever do for yourself, because you're literally telling that energy that you want them to screw you over, which is just not cool. Speaking of that, working with the Fae, I don't know that much about the Fae, but these are energies that can fuck you up because you can't see them. They are around you all the time, and they are mischievous beings. You do not want to fuck with them if you don't know them. You want to respect them. Respect their energy. Respect everything that they have to do with whatever you do in your life or in your spell work, because if you piss off someone that you can't see, I mean, I hope that you have put up any helms, any protective barriers, washed yourself in salt baths every single day and night, and every single, you just cover yourself in that shit, because I don't know what's coming to you. I don't know what's next for you. So be careful. That's all I'm saying. So I try not to question what's next in 2020, because I really just, everything that could happen will happen, I'm sure. Anything crazy that you never really thought would be a thing, especially in the witchy community, will probably happen. So if anyone wants to get on this bandwagon of hexing the moon or the sun or the Fae or any sort of entity or deity, just don't do it. It's just not a good idea. It's just something that no one should really try or dive into, because it's just going to end badly. That's my opinion. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I hope that nothing like this happens again, especially in the witchy community. I'm always one of those people that tries to teach people as much as possible. I always say, if you find something online, if someone tells you something online, go and fact check yourself, go check out the books that they read and all of that stuff, just so that you know for yourself. Even with my videos and what I've put out there, I do as much research as I can before I put anything out. I want to make sure I have the best information, but there are often times where I miss something or I don't put something in my videos, and that gives you the opportunity to discover it yourself. And I would hope that my videos would inspire you to do that. So with Witchtok, again, entertainment purposes only, because you never know the type of information that these witches are really giving you and whether or not it's actually factual, because it doesn't seem like it at all. And it's hard for me to say that because I want to make sure that all my witchy creators are doing their best and taking care of people and giving you the best information, and I want to support everything that they're doing. But at the same time, it's just when people are endangering the lives and endangering the spell work of others, I definitely have to say something. So this is something that I do not recommend. It's something that's absolutely ridiculous and should never happen. I'm sorry if I offend anyone. It's just my opinion, and what? Hexing the moon, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And the sun, like, I don't want anything to explode. I mean, we're already going through global warming. Now I'm just going on a rant. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. I'm out.